See this fucking balls? Lick 'em. Listen, haters are gonna hate, and the fact that Tony Bellew and Carl Froch didn't make any money out of the game is obviously hurtful to them. And I'm making the biggest bags that's ever.
Tyson Fury has finally lashed out at Carl Froch again as they rekindled their old feud after Carl Froch slammed him for firing John Fury as his trainer.
Fighting, man. When you've got him in the corner shouting and screaming at you, whilst you've got two other people giving you advice, that means you're listening to absolutely nobody. I thought that was terrible and really unprofessional in the corner. It was bad.
Where are you, Carl?
It really is about to go down between the two Brits who have always had tough times with each other, and with Fury's response to the unexpected. Maybe on the way, Tyson Fury was humbled for the first time. Only a few days ago, he suffered the very first defeat of his 36-match career by split decision on the 18th of May in Saudi Arabia. It was the first boxing match that, like football, had two halves where Tyson Fury won the first half, seeming to be snatching away the win before Alexander Usyk, the Ukrainian warrior, put on a magnificent show in the second half. Alexander Usyk, the man who tossed him around the ring like a coin, did so with a flurry of punches, and ultimately defied Tyson Fury's father's boastful claims that no man born of a woman can defeat his son. John Fury's claims revived memories of the famous Oedipus Rex by Sophocles. But really it's his Alexander-esque, truly born of a woman, of course. That's definitely true. And what proves it even more is that the man who claimed no one born of a woman can defeat his son has been finally kicked out of Tyson Fury's corner.
Froch is a bum, and he'll get what the little men get. Push!
Get over it, Big John. You're on about kicking me up the arse when you see me. You won't be kicking anybody. You won't come near me.
Tyson Fury has finally responded to the cries of his supporters, and he has now fired his father as his trainer, and the very last time we'll be seeing John Fury in his son's corner was the last we actually did in the undisputed world heavyweight title bout against Alexander Usyk.
Man, Big John Fury. Now, he was potentially a big hindrance in the corner because there was three voices in that corner, and I thought that was ridiculous. You got Andy Lee, you got Sugar Hill, and then he's got his dad blowing.
It's not been fully announced by the heavyweight boxer, but insiders and other members of the Fury family have hinted that after their father CL at 60 yesterday, it was a decision that was made based on John Fury's age, and also the recent controversy in the undisputed heavyweight title fight last Saturday. However, it surely won't be good news to John Fury after being relegated to only the role of a father in the life of his son Tyson Fury. Regardless, for Tyson Fury's fans and even his enemies, it has come as some good news, as John Fury has done way more harm than good, attracting more haters than lovers to his son, and notably stopping him from getting the right instructions from a more professional trainer in his last fight. To Carl Froch, it sounded so funny that this was happening now, considering it's been a decision that should have been made many years ago. What even made Carl Froch's response more hurtful to Tyson Fury was the kind of person such comment was coming from, as Carl Froch isn't just an enemy to the heavyweight boxer, but to the Fury family as well. Froch pointed fingers at Fury's match against Usyk and labeled it terrible and unprofessional, as John Fury made a big mess of himself and single-handedly set the stage for his son's first career to defeat former world super middleweight world champion Carl Froch. Was brutal in his comments about the loss of his countryman Tyson Fury and the eventual firing of John Fury from his son's corner. He went as far as slamming his father and putting all the blame on him, comparing Tyson Fury's corner to his own corner during his boxing career.
The Usyk fight didn't happen. You're fighting Ngannou instead of Usyk. You should be defending your title, really. You've got an obligation to the sport of heavyweight boxing as a champion. How long have you got left in the game? What, you got 2-3 more fights?
Former super middleweight world champion Froch felt the abundance of instructions did Tyson Fury no favors. Speaking on the most recent episode of Talk Sports The Verdict podcast with George Groves, that the former unified super middleweight champion said Robert McCracken was the main voice in my corner. The 46-year-old told Talk Sport Carl Froch was particularly vocal about removing Fury. Senior Tony Sims would give me a bit of instruction as I step up off the stall to go on for the round, and just said keep that left hand up or get off to your right. Just a last little instruction before you go. Tony Sims, Joe Cord's man. He was doing my courts. I also had a guy called Mark Salsa, but he didn't really give me, you just give me a little look and a nod and a wink. But Rob McCracken was the main voice. You can only listen to one person, but when you got three people, including Big John Fury, the fighting man, he said with a bit of humor, when you got him in the corner shouting and screaming at you whilst you got two other people giving you advice, that means you're listening to absolutely nobody. He continued, I thought that was terrible and really unprofessional. In his corner, he shouldn't be in there anymore. Off to your right. Just a last little instruction before you go, but when you got three people, including Big John Fury, the fighting man, When you got him in the corner shouting and screaming at you, watch, you got two other people giving you advice. That means you're listening to Carl Froch. Further commented on Tyson Fury quite harshly, highlighting that Fury survived a torrid 9th round in which he was given a standing 8 count after Usyk rained in a volley of blows which had him staggering into the ropes. The 35-year-old is expected to exercise his contractual right to a rematch, which is penciled in to take place in October. However, the Cobra has questioned Fury's hunger and believes money is now his sole motivation. And this was part of why Fury had to react. FR had commented on Fury firing his father. He had questioned the professionalism of his corner, and then he was questioning his hunger and motivation. This was one of the main reasons why Tyson Fury responded, claiming his career was a more gracious one than that of Carl Froch. Even if he retired at the moment, Froch continued by questioning Tyson Fury's motivation. I think now Tyson Fury's realized the legacy is probably not intact like he'd like it to be, FR added. So now I think he's just concentrating on the money. I overheard his soundbite when he was in the ring and he looked over at Turki Al-Alik, who's the entertainment guy out in Saudi, and he looked at him. He goes, "Let's get the rematch on, show me the money," as if that's the only thing he's interested in now, just making some more money before he retires. Absolutely nobody. I thought that was terrible and really unprofessional. In his corner, it was bad. Were you, Carl, on the observation that I made last week in an article writing about Tyson Fury? But Johnny Nelson made it even stronger about the public's not so much antipathy but actual diss. But I don't know how that will settle with him when he looks in the mirror and his head hits the pillow. How does that settle with him? The heavyweight titans are contractually obliged to run back their fight, providing Fury activates the two-way rematch clause written into their contracts, which he has indicated he will, and it's something the champions team said would happen. "We are men of our words," his promoter Alex Kashuk told Boxing King Media. "It's not about paperwork. If we shake hands and promise something, we do it. I see no reason for the rematch not to take place. Is ear-old. He needs to stay out of it." The other two, like you said, have forgotten more than he knows about boxing. But whilst we're talking about Big John Fury, your background with him and your beef, just for the people who don't understanding, Saudi boxing chief Turki Al-Sheikh recently confirmed that the second fight is penciled in for October 12,113, after which a fight between Fury and Anthony Joshua is being targeted for March 2025. However, Carl Froch has a contrary opinion, sending the most unexpected advice to Alexander Usyk that he should ignore the rematch and retire it instead. Carl Froch then went ahead to praise Alexander Usyk and demeaning his countryman Fury at Edge, claiming they were both in second place as Usyk has proven to be better than the both of them. This harshness from Brits was what John Fury had spoken about in an interview in Saudi Arabia, as he was quick to call Saudi Arabia his new home, claiming he'd want to be like the people there. "I just want to be like them. I want to be like the Says, cause the worst man in Saudi is better than John Fury." There you are, John. Just very quickly, yesterday, we know that Carl FR has a little. Well, it turned out that Carl Froch is a prototype of the Brits. John Fury saw that. Froch continued and said, "I think the only thing Usyk will do is retire. He will either have the rematch or retire. He's got nothing to prove. He's beaten Edge twice. He's now beaten Tyson Fury. He is the generational great for me. Usyk is the main character. He is the leader of the pack. When you look back at this generation of heavyweights, you're going to look back and say, Alexander Usyk is the main man. He's dominated. When I retired, I was nearly 37. Usyk is at that age where I know how you feel in training camp and how you feel in rounds 7 and 8. He's completed boxing. Hang up the gloves and turn it in. That is my advice to him. I don't think he's got anything left to prove. The rematch proves nothing." Anthony Joshua, it's two losers, isn't it? You've got two losers there fighting over second place. It would have been huge if Fury beat Usyk. But now it's two losers in a rubber match. I'm not that excited about it. If Nottingham Forest are playing, I'm watching that. Instead, Fury should try and rectify the defeat to Usyk. I think he needs to rectify the loss. If he's going to be remembered as a top fighter of the era, to be remembered the best, he's going to have to beat Usyk. That's it for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell for the latest notifications so that you never miss out on videos like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.